presenting, and I agree with that. I think they are better than this, but they're still not good. You've got to win these series. Cardinals have done that. They've been good against bad teams. They've been really good against teams that are good, which is, I think, an even better sign. But you have to take care of business when you're playing a team like Baltimore. Got to win these games.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You have to win this game against Baltimore today. You got to find a way to get rolling, on the road again. And they went and, they did a great job on the road. I mean, it was just, flipping the script on everybody because, the Cardinals have a young team that has a lot of unknown. And so I think that's, and we're all part of this, is that we all were going into it not really knowing what the Cardinals were going to be. Were they going to be able to go on the road and win? And why aren't they winning on the road? And I think we solved part of that problem was that the Cardinals bullpen was a mess. I mean, it was not good. And when they went on the road, they were not going to use Ryan Helsley. They're really, along with Phil Maton, their only proven reliever going, Jojo Romero, you could throw in there, going on the road, and they weren't going to use him in a tie game in the ninth. So they used Ryan Fernandez, got beat, used Ryan Fernandez, got beat. I mean, so the road losses were stacking up because they didn't have a good bullpen mix. The bullpen mix now is really, really good. By the way, they're going up against an Orioles team on the road that has problems. I mean, this Orioles team was supposed to be good, actually was good for a couple of years. It's a young team sort of in progress, and they've taken a step back to the point where they got rid of their manager. And they're in last place in the American League East by a long shot. I mean, I don't know if people have been following the Baltimore Orioles. They're 18-34. They are only a game and a half better than the White Sox. So, this is a chance for the Cardinals to put their foot down and go on the road and beat a team that's not as good as they are. And I think the way that the team plays defensively and the Arenado play, again, I'll go back to that. It's such a defining moment. This team will not give in on defense. They may have some moments where their offense doesn't click all the way, but they're going to be relentless in the way they make contact and get after it. Their starting rotation right now is good. And to set the foundation for winning, and the bullpen is much better than it was to start the year. But one thing that has not changed is his defense is elite. And I'll say this again, I do not see a low floor for this team. I don't see them falling very much. I think that the only growth they could have, I don't know that it's going to be exponential. It'll be steady, but I really don't see them cratering at all unless something drastic were to happen to them health-wise. So that's a good thing. And they have established something here with this club. And yes, now you go on the road and you attack Baltimore. And I'll go back to what I said. And I hear a lot of people touting the Cubs, and I got it. I understand. The Cardinals are only 2 games behind them. They haven't played them yet, and they won't play them for a month. So a lot still needs to happen between now and June 23rd. But the one thing the Cardinals have that the Cubs don't have is a closer. The one thing the Cardinals have that the Cubs don't have is a solid, steady rotation. The Cubs won yesterday 11-8 over the Reds, but their starter, Brown, he gave up 8 runs. They have a good team up there on the north side, but it is not a team that is consistent just yet. It has explosive, and it has a couple of MVP candidates quite possibly budding right now, but they're a long way from being good also. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, give me a Cards-Cubs summer rivalry. Wouldn't that be great for baseball? And you could hear the crowd a little bit start to get that energy back that we're accustomed to. They booed Randall Grichuk for doing the jump shot move when he hit the home run as he was making his way to third. That's a Diamondbacks thing, just like the Cardinals flap the wings. But they booed him. Yeah, like they're starting to come back to what they were. The fans are back. I wonder if they start to come back in full force. That'll be a big question, and that'll be a lot of fun. Could make for a great summer.
Yeah, I'm into that rivalry. We need both teams to be good. Both the Cardinals and Cubs need to be good, because when they are, and there were so many years where that rivalry was a lot of fun. It's not as much fun when only one of the teams is good or if they're both bad, right? So, I mean, you want to see that from both of them. I still do think the Cubs are a better team overall. I think their lineup is better than what the Cardinals have. I know you've taken exception, though, to some of the power rankings. We're going to get to that in a little bit because some of the power rankings are out.
Irritate me.
It does.
I know you're going to. We'll go through it, but it's irritating because, and maybe they should be out of the top 10, and maybe that's the way we're going to continue to motivate this team. If I'm running that team, I'm distributing that. You don't have to post it up on everybody's locker, but I might text the link out to everybody, like, "Hey, look at this." And Ollie doesn't have to do it. Maybe one of the players does it, like, "Huh, how about that?" They think the Astros are better than us, or they think the Cubs are 4 and we're not in the top 10. Okay, I mean, that's kind of this team is sort of playing with that edge right now. I think Arenado is leading the charge, and that a lot of people think he's done, that he's washed up. And I think that he's taking that personally and having some fun with that as well. So, maybe that could be some motivation. We'll go through those power rankings.
Yeah, let's get to that in a moment. We are going to talk to John Rooney. He's going to join the show just after 12:30. It is the Gashouse gang today. Let us know what you think. Do the Cardinals power rankings where they stand right now doesn't seem like they're getting a ton of respect. So we'll, it's not like they have them. A lot of people don't have them, ranked 30th or anything, but maybe they deserve a little bit more than that. Tell us what you think. You can leave us a comment on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We are streaming live on Twitter at KMOX Sports. You can find us there on YouTube. Just search out Gashouse Gang or KMOX Sports, and you'll be able to find us. All right. And also you can text in 314-436-7900. Text the show.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up because people listen to the show and might not remember the fact that we do stream this live. So I wanted to encourage you to hop online, and if you would like on this Memorial Day to pay tribute to your loved one, someone that you're thinking about today. That is what today is about. Today is a day of remembrance and reflection. And if you would like us to, I watched the NASCAR race last night, the Coca-Cola 600, and each car had a name of someone who served his or her country and is being remembered by a family or a race team or a fan. And so if you'd like to do that, we can pop those right up here on the screen. Just, something that we could do to help your family and your friends on today, because I know that we all are thinking about our loved ones who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Find us at KMOX Sports. That is Tom Ackerman. I'm Chris Rongey. Again, the number, if you want to text in, you can. 314-436-7900. Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin. Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Michael's Baths. So as you know, it's such a great deal. If you've been looking at other companies like Bath Fitter or 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, Mike does it local. He does it family. He's been doing nothing but bathrooms for 30 years now. And while many companies are raising prices due to tariff uncertainty, Michael's Baths is doing the opposite. They're offering $500 off any shower or tub replacement and $1,000 off a full bathroom remodel, turning market challenges into savings for their customers. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest, We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Meet me at the Muni in Forest Park.
Hey, it's Julie Tristan from the Muni Opera House. For the best selection and prices, become a Muni subscriber. See all 7 Broadway hits for as low as $126. Great seats are going fast. Pick your night, price range, and seat. Single performance tickets on sale May 19th. Single tickets start at just $21. Buy at muni.org. Call 314-361-1900 or visit the box office in Forest Park.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Hey guys, Clever here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Day baseball on this Memorial Day. The Cardinals play the Orioles at Camden Yards. They get started at 2:05. We got a pregame show at 1:10. Matt Pauley will have the pregame show for you. This is the Gashouse Gang. Tom Ackerman, Chris Rongey, good day to you. Glad you are spending your Memorial Day with us. If you're out in the yard grilling or whatever it is you're doing, you're listening to the show, we thank you. Or if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, you can do that too. And as Tom mentioned, if there's a loved one, a family member, a friend that you want to honor today, because it is Memorial Day, who served and lost their lives, just go ahead and send us their name, and we'll pop it up here on the screen so that people can see them. So, Tom, you're not happy. And I know you're not happy because before the show started, you were on fire, just livid at all of these baseball power rankings. That SI has them ranked at 9. Will Leach, our guy Will Leach for MLB.com, has them ranked 12th. In every one of these rankings I have seen so far, CBS Sports, which just posted not that long ago, has the Cardinals ranked lower on the list. They've got them at 8. So it's better than what we've seen so far.
That's not bad.
That's good.
That's not bad.
It does now. CBS does have them ahead of the Twins, which I think is right. I think they are better than the Minnesota Twins, but you are livid about this.
I'm not livid. I'm just
livid.
You're making that up. I'm not livid.
I'm watching you at home, and you were throwing things. You threw the cat. I saw you throw the cat.
I don't have a cat.
Oh,
so look, the power rankings. With all respect to our friends at CBS and everybody else, all these other sites, the only one that I'm really paying attention to is the one that's going to get the most eyeballs, and that's MLB.com. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So MLB, Major League Baseball's own account, puts out the power rankings, and they have it Phillies, who the Cardinals beat 4 out of 6, by the way, Dodgers, Tigers, who Cardinals lost to ultimately, very good team, Tigers, Yankees, Cubs. Those are your top 5. Phillies, Dodgers, Tigers, Yankees, Cubs. The second 5, the Mets, Giants, Mariners, Padres, Twins. The Cardinals should be 10. I don't see how they shouldn't be. They've only gone 16-4 this month after losing a couple of games, granted, at the start of the month. So they've gone, I believe it's 16-6 now in the month of May. But like our commenter just said, Rick said power ranking doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. But it's irritating to me in that, these are the St. Louis Cardinals, just to show how far things have fallen off, that it just tells me that people really just dismiss them and won't let them back into the club. I think that the Cardinals don't have, when I look at these rankings here, I see Skubal and Otani and Schwarber, and that's what people like. People like the big stars. They want to know so-and-so. I'm going to watch it because I want to watch so-and-so. The Cardinals don't have one of those players in the eyes of people. So that's the thing, is that the Cardinals, but the Will Leach one does surprise me a little bit.
Cardinals fan Will Leach.
Yeah, but maybe just playing to the crowd a little bit in that he's going to wait and see how good. Matt agrees with me there. So suppressing the urge to move his team up higher is a great way to put it. Maybe that is where they need to be at the moment, is outside the top 10 to continue to play with a bit of an edge. And there is the power rankings that I'm alluding to. It's interesting to me because the Cardinals are probably, I think you could be safe to say, they're the hottest team in baseball. They've only played to this point up through the end of May on absolute fire this month, and they still aren't getting any of the respect to some of these other teams. I saw Ben Verlander, who I follow. He's pretty good analyst for Fox. He had them out of the top 10 and had Houston as number 10. Houston's 3 games over 500. Cardinals are 7 games over 500, and they just swept the Arizona Diamondbacks. So again, I just find it interesting more than anything that the Cardinals still are considered this sort of mediocre, middle of the road team. Meanwhile, I think they're starting to surge a little bit, and maybe that's the way they like it. And they have some young players who are making a name for themselves. And I think they are a very entertaining club that is going to start to make a turn here this summer.
Well, here's what it's about. The Cardinals admitted during the offseason by subtracting payroll, and they also even explicitly said this was going to be that transitional year, right? This was going to be about giving younger players time to play without the worry of being sent down if they don't perform, for the first few weeks, that it wasn't one of those seasons. They ended up surprising everybody by being this competitive almost 2 months into the season. That takes a long time to then get the national perspective on board with you. Because when you go into the year telling people, well, if we compete, great, but that's not what this season's going to be about. Well, that's what's in the conscience. And I think that so that makes sense to me that those rankings are what they are. Maybe 12 is a little bit low from Will Leach, but I get it. I get where that's coming from. It's going to take them 3 months, if not 4, to really start to change the national narrative about what they are. Now, Jeff Passan gave them a lot of really good attention last week by writing about how good their defense has been and how that defense has helped them be just a couple of games behind the Cubs in the division and actually fighting for a division title. Now, again, we're only a third of the way into the season, so there's a lot more to go here. But as of right now, they are competitive, in lockstep with where the Cubs are, which is a team that everybody picked to win the division.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm aligned with you on that. I think that does make sense. I guess it surprises me a little bit that they aren't getting any attention, but I guess that's par for the course right now. Again, when you're not considered to be anything, and we're only through May, and at this point, what does it really matter, honestly, in the grand scheme of things? You're trying to win ball games, stack series wins, and trying to develop players is actually what we're going to do. I get teased sometimes for being the eternal optimist. Now that this team is playing well, I'm starting to, double down on it and getting all riled up. But the team is good. I think it's fun. I'm really looking forward to June 3rd. I'm anticipating a bigger crowd at Busch Stadium. It's kind of the kickstart to summer. Once June starts, that's what I consider summer. And I'm looking forward to seeing warm weather, fans back in the ballpark. I was there Saturday, and seeing kids back in the ballpark was really a lot of fun. I saw people who were in from out of town, people starting to make their trips into St. Louis to go to the games. Cardinals fans aren't just St. Louis. Cardinals fans are all over the country, and especially the Midwest and the South. So that's pretty fun for me. This is a good club right now, a good club. And look, there's another side of this too, There's still a group of fans that don't want to hear it. They will not give credit to Ollie Marmol. They definitely won't give credit to John Mozeliak. In fact, a lot of them are still protesting going to the games until Mozeliak is removed. Mozeliak hasn't is finished after this year. I hope people understand that the transition is already underway, but he has done to this point a good job of being the spokesman of the team, of doing his job, of setting the table for Chaim Bloom, who is working very hard down in the minor leagues to get this thing back so they never have to go through this again. When I had Mo on my show yesterday, I brought up the fact that Chaim and Rob Cerfolio and Larry Day are working hard in the minors, and that it seems like there's just great collaboration right now between all facets of the organization, and everybody is on the same page. And he pushed back a little bit, which I understand. He said a little bit of defense to that is that would insinuate that that's not happened in the past. And he said, I just want people to know that we have had good collaboration, that Gary LaRocque and his staff did a wonderful job. But he mentioned, Chris, that, with the resources that he had available. So what he is saying is the Cardinals organization has finally put its foot down and said, we're going to put resources into this minor league system. And that's what's happening right now. So, just understand that the change has happened. They might not be making a huge deal out of it, out of respect. But the move is being made for 26 and beyond. It just so happens that some of these players are catching fire right now, and 25 is getting very interesting. The trade deadline is going to be very interesting. And the guy that is going to be running that show is going to be John Mozeliak. So, it's going to be crazy here in the next couple of months.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Rongey on the Gashouse Gang. You could text into the show at 314-436-7900. Or if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, leave a comment there. And as we go to break, a texter says, my brother was John Meyer, and he was an avid Cardinals fan and has a brick at the new stadium. He passed in 2010, had complications from the Vietnam War. So thank you for remembering him. And we thank him. We thank John Mayer for his service. That is Tom. I am Chris. Thanks for listening in. When we come back, we'll talk to John Rooney, voice of the Cardinals, next on the Gashouse Gang.
Bernie Miklasz here for Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. The Saliga family's been taking care of generations of St. Louisans since 1927. The Miklasz family has relied on Saliga for about 17 years, and we well know that Saliga sets the standard for honesty, knowledge, professionalism, and prompt service. In our experience, Saliga has always looked for low-cost solutions to save us money. And Saliga can service all makes and models and can handle your heating and cooling needs for home or business. I recommend Saliga's Priority Club. It's a maintenance program that'll save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. You'll receive priority scheduling and have the comfort of knowing your home is safe and ready for all seasons. Family owned and operated for nearly 100 years, Saliga offers free estimates and financing options and still has the best and most trustworthy customer service in town. To find out more, call Saliga at 314-481-7883 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home? your most valued asset. Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella Windows specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050, now hiring qualified carpenters.
In the aftermath of a devastating tornado, your generosity has made a real difference. Thanks to donors like you, the Red Cross is providing shelter, meals, and hope to families in crisis. But the need isn't over. Please, if you can, give today. Every dollar helps deliver critical relief and comfort when it's needed most. And every dollar stays right here in St. Louis. Visit KMOX.com/Red Cross to donate now.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
Cardinals
We
baseball.
are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
The 1-2 pitch to Gurriel with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Maton delivers. A swing and a miss. That's a Redbird winner. Light it up in downtown St. Louis. The Cardinals have swept the Diamondbacks, winning 1-run ball games, 4-3 Friday, 6-5 yesterday, and 4-3 today.
And the Birds have won 16 of their last 20 ball games, and they'll go into one this afternoon in Baltimore. They take on the Orioles. 2:05 first pitch. The pregame show is coming up at 1:10. It is the Gashouse Gang. Tom Ackerman, Chris Rongey, and now we are joined by John Rooney, voice of the Cardinals. You just heard there. John, this team's playing some very exciting baseball this year.
Well, playing very exciting baseball, and what they're doing is they're winning all the close games now, games that got away from them early, and that's what's made it fun. And they've done it with limited resources. Helsley wasn't available. He wasn't available late, but the bullpen did a great job. And bending just a little bit, Maton was able to recover after allowing 2 base runners and left runners on second and third. And it was a great day yesterday.
John, what a play by Nolan Arenado. Take us through it from your perspective. Incredible.
Well, Nolan, the way he plays off the third base line, Tom, he has to go a long way for some of those foul balls. But we've seen him do it twice where he makes the catch right next to the stands and then ends up in the front row. And I think he's beaten up a little bit today. Should be able to go tomorrow, we're told. But Nolan Gorman is in the lineup today. But that's a lot of sheer determination and want to. And that's why Nolan Arenado has been winning platinum gloves and gold gloves in his career.
And insisted on staying in the game for that final out. And Ollie Marmol was talking about that he thought for sure when he was out on the field, taking a look at him, that he would want to come out because it looked like he got really banged up there. And he insisted, and he wanted to be on the field for the final out.
Well, it says a lot about what he means to his ball club. And, so many people worried that he wasn't traded during the offseason, that this is going to be nothing but a problem, and it has been anything but. He has just been a good teammate. He's going about his business, getting his work in, and I know he'd like to do a lot more offensively, but it just hasn't worked out that way to this point. At some point, it may well do that. in the meantime, Nolan Gorman's in there today, and Charlie Morton has done fairly well against left-handed batters in the past. Right-handers seem to hit him better, but so far this year, everybody's hitting him as he's 0-7. It kind of reminds me of his early days with the Pittsburgh Pirates when the Cardinals were beating on him pretty good. Then he developed a hard-breaking ball and a much livelier fastball and put together a pretty good career after moving on from Pittsburgh.
John, what about Wilson Contreras? Things looking much better for him?
Wilson's in the lineup today. He's back at first base. Tender back kept him out of the weekend. And that's another thing I was talking about, Tom, with limited resources. The Cardinals were able to win all 3 games and do that in come-from-behind fashion without Contreras, with some limitations to the bullpen. But Ivan Herrera has made a huge difference in the middle of the lineup for the Cardinals. And yesterday, Mason Wynn hit a home run. That was big. And the way they continue to play defense, it keeps the Cardinals in every game. They've been in all but a couple of games. And we've passed the 50-game point in the season. I think that says a lot about this good young team.
Yeah, John, the wins do keep coming here still. As you've watched them this year, they've done a lot of things very well. We talked about the defense and offense and them scoring runs. What has been your favorite thing about this Cardinals team?
Well, I think it's the way that they've been able to stay in games. We witnessed a couple of years ago where if they got down early, they were just not a comeback team at all. But now, if you get down 2-3 runs, and in the case of against the Detroit Tigers, where Skubal had a 4-0 lead, they were able to come back against him, even though they weren't able to go ahead and put the game away. They still had a great comeback and put themselves in a position where they could win that game. Yeah, they dropped 2 out of 3 to Detroit, but then they played a really good lineup, a very balanced lineup with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they were able to get by 3 times in 1-run games at home. And consider the 1-run record at one point was sitting there at 0-5. Right now, it's 10-8. And in the 2-run games, they're 4-3. So winning those close games, I think the hardest thing to do in any sport is learning how to win, putting a team together and putting the resources you need on the field or on the court or anything to be able to put some wins together. And this young Cardinal team is doing that.
And also, John, they've been doing it against the good teams. Their record against teams that are 500 or better is, well, there are only 3 other teams, actually only 2 other teams that have been better than them at that, and that's the Yankees and Mets. So they have played well against good competition, too. It's not just the bottom feeders they're beating.
And they could have come away with a win or 2 in New York, where they didn't, but they managed to win the series against the Mets in St. Louis. Now, they don't care who they're playing. And like today, up against a Baltimore team that just hasn't been good. Now, the Orioles have won their last 2, but they've only won 3 in the last 10 games. They've had a change of manager, and they're trying to feel their way back into a season where they can salvage something and perhaps set things up for 2026. But you can't fall into the trap of saying, let's throw the glove out there and throw the bats out there, and we'll take 2 out of 3 or win all 3 and move on to Texas. You have to go out there and jump on this team early today.
And John, Baltimore moved on from their manager, and there's a question on our feed here from Scooter saying, can Rooney see the seemingly elevation of love around the city for Ollie Marmol? He says, I feel like I hear a lot more people around town with a lot of support for Ollie. I don't know how much more, John, but there is more. And Ollie has done a very good job. Just your observations of Ollie and the fan support right now.
Well, I don't know. I hear less and less from the fans about how they'd like a change of managers from what we heard over the last couple of years. And Ollie has not been the issue. The issue has been players performing. And I still say this, if Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Gorman last year had hit anything at all, I think the Cardinals would have been a playoff team. They would have been much better with runners in scoring position and one thing and another. And that makes the manager look a whole lot better as you get ready to go into a season. But Oliver Marmol has kept a very positive attitude. Remember when the Cardinals were losing all those close 1-run games? Oliver said, I like this team. They're a good group, and I really believe that they're going about it the right way. They're buying into what we're doing, and I think they're just about ready to take off. And that was not that long ago that he said that. And a couple of weeks later, they tore off on a 9-game winning streak. So Oliver has stayed steady. He's doing his job as a manager, and he has a very good support staff with his coaches.
How much? I know it's difficult to measure that, John, but just how important is the manager in creating an environment in the clubhouse, which from all accounts, it seems like it's a good clubhouse down there. So how much of that is him as opposed to veteran players or even the younger players?
Well, you have to have a blend of everybody. And it's like any business. If you have bad management at the top, you're probably going to lose a lot of money and either be out of business or you'll be changing CEOs about every 5 minutes. And the same thing in baseball. Managers, there are some who let the clubhouse just run the show. And usually those are teams at the bottom of the standings or teams in the middle of the pack at best. But you have to have a good blend. And with the veterans on this club, Wilson Contreras brings energy, he brings excitement, and he loves to play baseball. And that rubs off on the younger players. Lars Nootbaar has some time in at the big league level. And you have Sonny Gray, who has been around the block, 3 All-Stars. So you have those guys that blend in with Oliver Marmol, the coaching staff, and what they've been working on from last year into this year. Many of these players were around last year, and the only free agent signing was Phil Maton, who saved the game yesterday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. But it's a good young group of players. They play hard, they prepare, they work hard, and they give themselves a chance to stay in the game and win.
John, when I had John Mozeliak on, I have him on every Sundays, and I had him a couple of weeks ago. I talked about the poster boy for this runway, I thought, was Victor Scott. I mean, they gave it to him, and he literally ran with the center field job. And you know what Mo told me? He said he was not on my – I'm paraphrasing, but he said he was not on my list of runway players when we started this whole movement. And then he did take it, and he ran with it. What a performance this has been by Victor Scott, who had the game-winning hit yesterday.
I go back to Randy Johnson. He was the winner of the Warren Spahn Award, like the first 4 years they gave that down in Oklahoma. And he addressed a group of high school players, baseball and softball players that were being honored in connection with the Warren Spahn Award. And he told them without a lot of hard work, he never would have been able to evolve as a professional pitcher or a big league pitcher, because he didn't have much command when he first came up. He threw hard, but he didn't know where it was going, the fastball or the slider. But he said with back issues and one thing and another, he has had to work hard day in and day out about every day of his career. And he told them, when you think you're done working, go out and work some more. You're not finished. Victor Scott did that this last offseason. He went into the offseason with a plan. He wanted to be on the Cardinal roster, and he really played himself on there. He showed the Cardinals, I'm ready to play, I'm ready to perform, and it's worked so well with John Jay. He's still getting used to running the routes in center field and getting used to the various ballparks. And just like playing every team in baseball, we're only in here in Baltimore 3 times or 3 days, one time, and you have to get used to it fast. And he's out there working right now in BP. So, no, he worked his way onto the roster, and he has earned every opportunity he has been given.
All right, John Rooney, call of the game will happen at 2:05. That's the first pitch today. Cardinals in Baltimore, first time they've been to Camden Yards since 2023. So looking forward to the ball game today and the pregame show at 1:10. Thank you, John.
All right, guys, have a very safe Memorial Day, and we'll see you when we get home. We're only out a week, and then back at Busch Stadium, where it was so great over the homestand, especially over the weekend. The fans had a ball there, and we did too.
Cardinals gave him something to cheer about. So thank you, John, and hoping more of that happens today.
Thanks, John.
All right.
That is John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals. Like I said, 2:05 first pitch. Let's go. Let's get those wins in Baltimore. Nice ballpark, by the way, Camden Yards. Really, really good-looking ballpark. All right, so that's happening today. We're going to be with you until just right before the pregame show starts. Actually, we're with you until 1 o'clock. Tom Ackerman, Chris Rongey on the Gashouse Gang. Reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter if you are watching the show. Hello. And also you can text us 314-436-7900. This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
When disaster strikes, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis is there. Tornadoes have left families displaced and communities in crisis, but you can help. The Urban League Tornado Disaster Relief Humanitarian Fund provides emergency shelter, food, clothing, and critical support to those affected. Your donation brings hope when it's needed most. Visit ulstl.com to donate. That's ulstl.com. Stand with us. Stand for St. Louis.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan along with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. Doctor, when should somebody typically get a hearing evaluation?
You know, Charlie, the simple answer to that would be at age 65. However, there are some contributing factors that might make people more at risk for hearing loss. Some people with a history of noise exposure or a family history of hearing loss, or those suffering from tinnitus, those people should come in to have their hearing evaluated at age 60. And of course, anyone noticing difficulty hearing or ringing in the ears should come in as soon as they notice these changes.
That's the word from Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center with 3 convenient locations: Florissant, St. Peter's, and Creve Coeur. Schedule an appointment today by calling 636-441-7470 or the Audiology Center STL.com.
Hi, I'm Amy Mark Scores. Are you dealing with knee pain? Maybe plantar fasciitis? I've got good news. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on insoles. You need Superfeet. Superfeet insoles come with high arches, low arches, or a more custom fit. I get the high arches. They cost $60. I've been wearing them for almost 20 years. Stop by any Fleet Feet location and they'll fit you up. St. Charles, Chesterfield, De Pere, South County, or O'Fallon, Missouri.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
At California Psychics, we know some people can't read the career warning signs, like your boss still not knowing your name.
You, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
So talk to California Psychics and receive the career guidance you need. We only connect you with the very best. So guaranteed, if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Now, back to the Gashouse Gang on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. 11:20 a.m., 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Cardinals baseball is coming up. A 1:10 pregame show and a 2:05 first pitch in Baltimore. Cardinals are there already, and they're getting ready to play some ball. Eric Fetty is getting the start for the Birds, who are, as I mentioned earlier, 16-4 since May 4th. This is a team that's just been playing really good baseball, Tom Ackerman. So hope they keep it going, especially against a team like the Orioles, who are 18-34. This is they should be better than this. I think we can agree on that. But because they're not, this is the kind of series Cardinals have to take advantage of.
Yes, they do. And the Cardinals will be putting out there after Sonny Gray pitched in that game yesterday. You're going to have Fetty and Palante and Michaelis. That's your rotation right now with Steven Matz in the bullpen. The Cardinals have Matthew Liberatore as the best number 5 starter I have found anywhere. He looks phenomenal. He was really great on Saturday, and the score did not indicate how good he was, giving up a run. But he won't be in this series, and neither will Gray. So you're going to go with the middle 3 guys in Fetty, who did go the distance earlier this year. He's had some ups and downs. Palante's had some ups and downs, but really this has been a good, solid rotation. Michaelis is the one who has really impressed me. The way that he has turned things around since the Fenway debacle has been super impressive. He's been able to pitch for strikes, but also for contact, which he does very well, changing speeds. He's just been a good, durable, solid starter. And for a while there, they were limiting him. It looked like they were pulling him after 75, no more than 80 pitches. And now, he goes on Friday, 6 innings, gives up a run. I look forward to seeing how he can finish off this series. But yes, it really does always come down to starting pitching. If the Cardinals have that, the bullpen looks good. The defense looks good. The offense is a top 10 offense in most categories. They're creeping up in there. They've got Donovan is a great hitter. Herrera is their best hitter with an insanely high slugging percentage right now, but he doesn't have the at-bats to qualify for any of that right now. But we'll see when he does have more, if that levels out or if he continues to elevate, because he looks phenomenal the way he's recognizing pitches. It's just a good, solid baseball team right now. But again, I'll go back to the rotation. If they continue to pitch like they're pitching this out of the gate, the first 5, 6, in Libby's case, 7 innings, they're going to be tough to stop and consistently good, I think, for hopefully the month of June as well, before they play the Cubs on the 23rd. Then we're really going to know what this division is going to look like. So they'll get the Cubs here at Busch, and they'll get the Cubs at Wrigley not long after that for the July 4th series.
We only got less than a minute here, but so I want to move on to this real quick. I know we didn't leave enough time, but Peter earlier watching on YouTube talking about the Cardinals and Battlehawks being good, but City SC has not been. Are we looking at a new head coach here this week?
Well, I had Lutz Fantasyl on the show yesterday, and I asked him if he still felt the same about the coach than he did the week before, which was, it's not time to be talking about the coach. This is an entire organizational discussion. He said, yes, I do feel the same way, but we do have a couple of days here of holiday, and then we're going to get into, holding everybody accountable, really digging into where we are. So I think that, you could find out here pretty soon about what changes are going to be made with the team. And let me just throw this out to our man, the real Birdman 1. I will do a segment on the Traject Arc on Sports on a Sunday morning.
Oh, the pitching machine.
The pitching machine that is incredible.
It's
that shows every pitcher throwing.
It's about $15,000 a month to lease it.
It is.
It's very expensive.
I think it's a 3-year lease as well.
Yeah, 3-year lease. Yeah. All right, Tom Ackerman, appreciated it. We will be back at this tomorrow with the manager, Ollie Marmol. He'll join the show at 12 o'clock. The Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts.